Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to this 9th episode of the Firebase tutorial. So in this episode, I just wanna rectify a few things. So the first thing being, the reason we couldn't get attachments and extra data to put to our email was because we were asserting this. So I took this from initially asset fail was here. So when you have your asset fail here, these will not execute because it will automatically fail the test and then it will start a new execution. So just take this out of here and place it in here at the end of everything else. And another thing is, I like I told you, in the error there's always a reference for documentation and stuff. So I just created a new array string and then split this for documentation, because the first portion of the error actually is the real error, and then documentation gives you the references to what the error means and how to get the error and all this stuff. And then we just need the first element to put it through. So the reason would be this, and then as well as here on our array list. So that was the only thing that was making my email to send without extra data. But the main issue was this, the asset fail. So if you have your asset fail here, then everything will be okay. So if we can go ahead and look at the email that I sent through, this one. So initially I sent this one. As you can see, the only thing was this automation image. I then sent, after troubleshooting, I sent this one. As you can see, it has these scenarios included and unable to locate spam and whatever, and then it has given these attachments. So as you can see, I couldn't log in, invalid password or username, whatever. So it tells you that it's unable to locate this element, and this element is only accessible when you have logged in. So it can be this error message is vague. It can be, the reason can be no network, or the application is hanging, or invalid credentials, or whatever. But at least it gives us an idea that we can't get that element. So this is what I wanted to do. So for now I feel like I achieved what I wanted to achieve, because, oh, by the way, I intentionally failed this test in order to send this email, because if our test goes through and pass, there's no need for us to send an email. Everything has passed, so there's no need to bother. So this might be an issue for devs to look at, because we couldn't log in. And another thing, a very important thing, especially if you are going to send emails using Gmail, so what you need to do is just come here in your profile and say manage your Google account. And go to security, this. So you need to disable your two-step verification. It's not really disabled. There's extra steps that you need to take should you want to use two-step verification with sending email using other apps. So it takes a lot of time and effort. So I just disabled it, and then the only thing that I had to enable is less secure apps. This I don't recommend, but then for the purpose of this tutorial I had to switch it on and then switch this off. But always have this on, your two-step verification. It'll always verify you with your phone and whatever. It's a safer way to go. And then always have this off. That's why it's always recommended. So but if you just want to send an email once off, see if it's working, just turn it on and turn it off after you're done, and make sure that your two-step is always turned on. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. But then you can send an email on with other apps with your two-step verification. If you don't wish to turn this off, to turn this on, you can use two-step, but like I said, it requires extra effort, steps and time that I don't have. Yeah, and another thing is that when you have this on and then you don't use it sorry, you don't use it for a certain amount of time, Google automatically turns this off, and then this will be off, and then you'll just be surprised that you can't send emails with your apps from your Selenium project or whatever. Just go ahead and see if this is still on, because Google will turn it off at some point. But then if you're not using Google, you're using a domain from your workplace or whatever, then you're fine. You just have to configure your settings, and you won't need to go through all this, and you set to go. So that is what I wanted to share. So this is fine, gives you the date and whatever, execution ID. This execution ID, let's just go ahead on Firebase and see. Execution ID and test cases which have failed. Selenium. Cloud Firestore. The ones we need is what? QGIS S3. This one, yeah. So this one has failed, QGIS S3, it has failed, and then there's other test cases with the same identifier, so you'll find them all in here. Should you wish, you can store those attachments that I did, those screenshots. You can always store them in here, but I don't wish to. It's relatively easy and it doesn't take a lot of effort. So everything is in here. It has failed, yes. I think that's it. Another thing that I wanted to discuss, what was it? I'm getting old. Oh yeah, so you can look at Spring framework. Here's theme leaf. You see, so this frameworks like these will help you send an HTML email using a template. So like I told you, I didn't want to go through all of these just to send an email. So you see, they help you just grab the email, the template, and then hoy a bit of parameters there, and then send your email. So look at, there's a lot of them which will help you, but for now I don't need this. So go ahead and look at their documentation. Is easy to read, well constructed, and like I told you, it requires a set of rules as well. So you see, you'll need a properties file. So this will be read from a properties file, as well as your templates should be under resources as well. So if you look at how they reference that, your template will always be here, hence I created this here. So there's a lot of things, but it's not really tricky stuff. It's just basic stuff that once you get the hang of it, everything will make sense. So for now, this is what I wanted to show you guys. My HTML email is working, everything is working, so everyone is attached. Here's the team, here's dev, and here's the email. If it's something related to dev, they can tell us no, they can let us know. If it's something that we need to investigate on our side, like credentials, maybe the automation team should see. If dev has a problem with us CCing them with our emails, they always CC us on issues that don't involve us, so tough luck. Anyway, yeah, so we're just keeping everyone in the loop. So this is it. Don't forget about Gmail, your less secure apps. Switch it on and switch off two-step verification, or go ahead with two-step verification and create extra configs to be able to send such using Gmail. And then for the templating, which I really recommend, the templating. Where is it? Templating, I don't see it. No, if you're gonna use I don't if you're gonna send email, if you're gonna adapt to this, just go ahead and use HTML reporting template referencing. Look at Spring and familiarize yourself with it, and you'll be fine. So that's all that I wanted to discuss: templating, less secure apps, and then the assertion. So assert at the very bottom of your lines, because when you assert here, it will fail, and these will not be executed. So guys, I think that's all for this part of this tutorial. I think the reporting is done as well. So on the next tutorial or next part of this Firebase, I'm gonna create a Firebase reporting site. So it's gonna be a web HTML site, so it's gonna be fun. So you'll please join me on the next part of this Firebase tutorial. So on this episode, I would like to say thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I will see you again on the next part of this tutorial of Firebase. Bye for now.